Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy. Welcome if you're new here, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. So this video is a continuation of a series I am doing right now on the new Earth. And Spirit has been telling me that they are connecting me with the group of souls that I incarnated here with at this time to collectively work on our mission to help the Earth shift from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness. And the message they have today is that we actually have a double mission. So this is something that just came through a couple of days ago. It seems like as the weeks go by, I'm getting more and more information, like Spirit's just kind of like sharing little bits with me at a time. And the message that I got a couple days ago was about this collective that I am speaking to. So this double mission, two parts. One is to embody this unique frequency, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you've heard me talk about that a few times. And also to be a living example of what it means to shift from 3D to 5D, and more specifically, what it looks like to embody 5D consciousness right now. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So this collective that I'm speaking to, we chose to come here at this particular time in the shift, meaning the very beginning stages of really starting to move towards 5D consciousness, the new Earth, when things are really starting to come into form. And that evidence is going to take a while still, but there's a whole lot changing now, and it's changing very fast. And it's this funny little paradigm of, or paradox, I should say, where everything is happening much, much faster now because of the level of consciousness that the Earth is at and that humanity is at collectively. So everything is happening much faster, yet things still seem like they're taking a long time to come into form. So it's kind of like it's moving fast but slow at the same time. So we chose to come here at this particular point in the shift to show what it's like to be in 5D consciousness while very much still in the 3D. So just a little side note about like 5D consciousness. I know there's different belief systems around that, and my understanding is that it's simply a perspective. So 5D is just a different way of looking at reality, at looking at how the world works. It's about like unity consciousness and yes, like love and harmony and peace and all of that things you hear about associated with the new Earth. And it's understanding that we are divine. We are divine beings having a human experience. And because we have the divine within us, and we know that the divine ultimately is a creator, we also have creative potential within us. And we're actually creating all the time. And we realize that we have created what we see now. And because of that understanding, we know that we have the power to create something new. So we are creating the new Earth right now. So again, if you understand like how the universal laws work, law of attraction, that sort of thing, everything we see in the physical reality right now is or was created by prior thoughts and feelings, emotions, belief systems, all of that subconscious stuff has all been what created what we're seeing right now. So if what we see is not what we want, and we want something different, then we have to change the way we think and feel and believe. And our vibration helps kind of set the foundation for that. So that's just kind of another conversation, but just understanding that is so pivotal to really understanding the whole like 3D, 5D, new earth conversation, is that it's really just changing your perspective, and also understand, and the key part of that is really understanding that we are creators as humans here on this earth, and we are creating our world. And if we want to create something better than what we are currently experiencing, we have to really truly change our perspective. So it's really like this paradigm shift. And, it's not enough to, as like light workers, to just be like love and light in the world, because it's easy to be that way when things are going well in your life. For example, it's easy to maybe, volunteer, for causes that you care about, and just to be a good person, a kind person. But so many of us, and like me included, it's so easy just to fall back into like 3D ways of being, and we don't really realize it until we start being consciously aware of what our thoughts are doing, like what we're thinking and what we're feeling. It may not be our outward actions. I think a lot of light workers view their work as like what they're doing in the world, and not paying as much attention as to what's going on with them internally. And that's really what the shift is. It's not so much about doing good in the world, although that's wonderful and we should continue to do those things. But we have to remember that we're creators, and creation happens first with thoughts and feelings and that belief system. So we have to get really, really solid on making sure that we are actually like looking at the world differently and our role in it, and seeing our role as being pivotal to what we're creating that's going to be in the future. And what's so challenging about this is that because we're on like the forefront, so Spirit likes to use the words forefathers, like we're the forefathers of the new earth, the pioneers of the new earth. And what's so challenging about any time in history where you have a group of people who are considered pioneers, they are the ones that go first, and they set the stage for what's to come, but they don't always get to experience the outcome, the result of what they set in motion. And that is going to be very true for this collective that I'm speaking to. Now, I'm almost 53, so I am hoping that I will see some changes in physical reality, some, early bits of the new earth. But I don't know. I mean, like I'm saying, like things are speeding up, but at the same time, like change takes time. We are still very much in 3D physical reality where things just generally move pretty slowly, although things are going to speed up even in the coming years. That's another conversation. But generally speaking, the results of what we're doing as light workers is going to take time to become physical reality. And now if you're younger, 20s, 30s, hopefully you will get to have a good portion of your life where you're seeing real solid evidence of what we call the new earth. So no matter where you are in your age, in your lifespan, just doing this work now is so important. And you're soul incarnated here at this time for a reason. And your life now and all the lifetimes that you have had elsewhere, I'm speaking in this collective to very old souls who have had many incarnations in many different dimensions, places, star seeds, that sort of thing. And we chose to come here to help Earth with her ascension. The Earth decided that she wanted to move into the fifth dimension from the third dimension. And it is time. It is time now. And we are going to be parts of that. So I'm getting a little bit off track. Let me look at my my notes here. I did take some notes so I could try to stay on track. So, and it's not that so did I mention the 5D consciousness? Like it's really just I did. It's just a perception shift more than anything. And it's not that there has never been any experience of 5D on Earth. This is my belief, my understanding. There have been people prior to now who have operated from a 5D level of consciousness or even higher. Like I'm thinking of like Jesus and Buddha, who had a human life here on Earth, and they operated from a higher level of understanding, a higher conscious awareness. And up until this point in time, until the last, decade or so, there were people here and there who did have this higher awareness. But the difference now is that there are so many of us who have this higher awareness, who have awakened to a level and raised our vibration enough that it's caused like this collective, like upswelling of energy that has made it possible for real like change to start happening on a global level. And that's where we're at now. So we have incarnated here, this collective, to really start kind of laying the foundation for the new Earth. So we need to do several things. The first is just being aware that we are accessing the 5D consciousness now. It is not something we're waiting to happen. We're not waiting for the big shift, the great split, some kind of, big solar event, a rapture kind of event to happen before we can be in 5D. We are actually creating 5D, like the new Earth, right now. It's kind of like Spirit showing me, like, if you start a new exercise routine, a fitness routine, you do not see the evidence of all the workouts you're doing for a while. And, we're so used as humans to, just wanting instant gratification, especially now. It's like, just the way society works now with technology and everything. It's so easy to have like instant gratification. And with working out, that's one thing that you get discouraged because you don't see the results right away. And it's kind of the same thing with the work that we're doing. Like we're putting this work in now, even though we may not see like the results in the physical for a while. But we have to believe in what we're doing and like so strongly that we just keep going and we don't give up. And the challenge with this, and this is the thing that's really, really unique about light workers right now and this group that I'm talking to here, is that it's really difficult because we are very much in the 3D still. Eventually, and the way I've been shown it is 3D kind of and 5D will exist at the same time for a period of time. And it's like the 3D starts to dissolve as the 5D starts to come into form. And I forget where I was going to go with that. I don't even know where I was going with that. But we have to be aware that and I've been, like I mentioned earlier, that we are in the 5D now, if we choose to be. It's a way of looking at the world. So let me look at my notes really quick. I said we're not waiting until like the 5D is here and then we start living as these 5D beings. Again, we have to remember that we're creating that right now. And that's why we need to start taking our work seriously. So if there was like a little lag there, it's because my phone ran out of space. So just to kind of wrap up the message, this is why Spirit has been pressing on me for myself and to share with others, other light workers, that it's time to take our work seriously. Like, it's not enough to just be like love and light, but to really understand that we need to sort of be in this world in a different way. And that's what I was trying to get to when I lost my train of thought a minute ago. It's really challenging for us because right now we're going to be very much in the 5D. As 3D starts to dissolve and the 5D starts to come into form, there's going to be evidence. So people are going to say, oh, wow, this is working. This does make sense. I get it now. So that's easier because you're going to have support around you. But right now, we're not going to have a lot of support. I don't know about you, but the majority of people around me do not have this perspective. Some do, but in my everyday life, most people don't have this perspective. So you have people around you that are very much caught up in like the chaos and just focusing on what they see, and they think, all the bad kind of stuff, all the bad things that are going on in the world, and it's just getting worse, and all of that, and in the media, and just being caught up with the news cycles and all of that. And it's really hard to be with people when all of this is going on and they have all of these beliefs and you're in all these conversations, when you are trying to just focus on not thinking those things anymore because you're realizing that you are a conscious creator. And it's like, how do we navigate that? That is the challenge for those of us in this collective. But we're up for the challenge because we chose to come here. And we come here with a ton of experience from our other lifetimes. We have an entire spirit team that is supporting us and helping us in this. So if we just commit to this path, we're going to be shown the way. And that is why Spirit's like, okay, I need you to take this seriously. I need you to carve out time, like, to take care of your own energy, because you're in this very 3D world still, and you need to have like really good hygiene practices to clear your energy. Most of us are probably most of us are empaths, certainly if you're in this collective, and it's really easy to take on the negativity in the world around us, and we have to have regular practices where we let that go. And so we can show up as conscious creators and create what we want to see in the future. And, even though we may not see the evidence of that for a long time, and we may have people around us that are like, you're crazy, or you're spiritual bypassing, or you have your head in the clouds, you're not paying attention. It's like, yeah, we're not paying attention because we're choosing not to put our attention on what we are seeing around us because we don't want to keep perpetuating that. So that is the main message that I had for you today. The next video, I think I'm going to talk more about the unique frequency that's available to this collective. And that should be really, really interesting. So thank you so much for joining me here today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I really want to create this space for those of us that are working on this mission to bring in the new earth, because I feel like there's probably not a whole lot of support we're going to get in our like real life lives, our in real life relationships. So we need to connect with each other globally. Thank goodness we have technology to do that. So I would love to have you in this collective with me here on my channel. And I'll see you really soon. All right, bye.